This weekend, Cherries travel to Robert De Zerbi's Brighton in a match which sees relegation-threatened Bournemouth face European-chasing Brighton and Hove Albion. Yep, the Seagulls, they're sat in a Euro place at the moment. Are they going to get European football? On this show, we're going to discuss it all. This is Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And Tom, it's been a busy week at Dean Court. It's been a busy month at Dean Court, and it's been a busy week for you. Promises to be a busy week next week as well.
It does, mate. It does. There's a lot going on at the moment. It's that kind of mid-season feel, isn't it? And obviously the window. Especially, it seems like January is always busy for us now after last season as well. But yeah, good window for us, and now back to football, mate. Back to actually playing. And as you mentioned, a really difficult one this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, if you're travelling to Brighton, hope you certainly have safe travels. Look, the weather's going to be okay, 10% chance of showers. It's going to be 10 degrees, going to be a bit overcast. Hopefully it's going to be brighter on the pitch. If you're going via the A27 on the car, 2 hours and then a bit more by train. By the way, you get free trains and buses from Brighton to Falmouth, which is superb. It only takes about 10 minutes, so just show your match ticket. Tom, you're going to be going by train, I'm going to be going by car, but we're going to all come together in the pub and hopefully look forward to 3 points. But look, I think most of us would just take a point, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. I think a point and a positive performance, maybe see some of the new players and just see a little bit of a more attacking impetus and a little bit more bravery on the pitch. And yeah, if we can go there and nick a point, that'd be massive for us, particularly with the fixtures coming up. I think a lot of people will be thinking, God, you'd be lucky to get a point at Brighton. But the fixtures we have coming up, we've got Newcastle, City, Liverpool around the corner. This and the predicament we're in, we kind of need to try and nick something if we can, mate. But yeah, looking forward to it. I think we'll all be in positive spirits in the pub beforehand because of the week and month we've had in terms of the signings. So who knows, mate? I might even pop down the beach and see some of the pebbles.
Why not?
We've got real sand
on our beach.
That's all we got.
Before we tell you about what's coming up on the show, just need to show you this bad boy. Look at it. It is absolutely beautiful, and there's a way that you can win it. It's an AFC Bournemouth history map, mate, done in sort of like the London Underground tube. I'm looking here. Look, you've got the 2022 promotion-winning squad. You've got the highest league position, 2016 as well.
Kenwyn's over there.
Kenwyn Jones is over there as well. Loving this stuff, and it's got a proper timeline. This could be yours, and you know how it could be yours. Well, firstly, 2 things you need to do. Well, look, one of your entries is just by putting a score prediction in the comments right now. That's all you need to do. Put your score prediction in there. But to double your chances of winning, and I sincerely hope you do this because we need to support Chris Lee, Football Art. He's the one that produced this. You need to follow him on Twitter. So his handle is Football Art C Lee. You can see it on screen there. Go follow him now. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting out a tweet. You need to retweet it. We're going to be checking that you're following Chris Lee. Hats off to Chris Lee for this absolutely beautiful.
Like it,
it's A3, so that'll look really good framed, wouldn't it?
I love a bit of like just random football memorabilia and stuff. I've got loads of Bournemouth stuff, and that's a new take, and I like that. I do like that a lot. It's yeah, really nice. So yeah, do all that good stuff, and it's completely free. You got a chance of winning some merch. Do it.
Yeah. Free entry. Look, just put your scoreline prediction in the comments. That's all you need to do. And another way to win. Why not double your chances by following him on Twitter? And then when you see our tweet, because you're following us, right? Yeah. Just make sure you retweet it. That is Football Art C Lee on Twitter. We are so good to you, aren't we? Right. Here's what's coming up. So, could Bournemouth be the next Brighton? Well, look, despite the fact that Bournemouth got Premier League football before the Seagulls, it's fair to say that our South Coast comrades, they're streets ahead of us in a number of departments, and maybe, just maybe, they're the blueprint to follow. We take a look at their incredible season and also pay a lot of praise to the people that got them to where they are now.
We'll also be talking about Bournemouth's transfer window. It's all done and dusted now. We were live in the week, bringing you the raw reaction, but myself and Sam will have a considered chat about whether this group of players are what we need to survive in the Premier League. We hope they are. We've got all the team news and injury updates as well. Plus, I'm going to give it a go to predict both sides. If I get any of these sides right, surely it's worth a like on this video. Surely. And make sure you're subscribed too, obviously.
Right, shall we have a look what happened last time we were at the Amex? I mean, not good on the pitch, but great days for me because I had some hair.
I can't even remember it.
Let's check it out. Just gone 11:30. Look who I've bumped into.
Hey.
Mr. Tiggs. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good. Not too bad. I've got my coffee.
Yeah.
It's just coffee.
Easy as well. So much room in the box. Jesus Christ, get out! Thank God for that. Needed to be about 5 minutes ago, that shot. So, full time, 2-0 to Brighton. Myself looking dapper, Tiggs there looking different as well. Do I look better for having no hair? I think I probably do. Let me know in the comments. Not that I'm asking for praise or anything. Right, Brighton then, mate. I mean, they are along the coast. They got a beach. Are they rivals? Is this a derby or is it? No, it's not, is it?
Not a derby at all. No, I actually quite like Brighton. Yeah, I don't mind Brighton. Yeah, good, well-run club, as I'm sure we'll come on to, but and play some good stuff of recent times. But yeah, definitely not a derby, mate. I mean, they've got the weird derby with Crystal Palace, haven't they?
Yeah,
that everyone goes on
M23
about.
derby or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if we were closer in the league, it might be intensified,
Yeah,
this
maybe.
fixture, maybe. But as we look at the league table now, Bournemouth are below the dotted line and Brighton are also below the dotted line, but a different dotted line. Look at them right up there, just underneath Tottenham Hotspur. Look, they are 5 points behind, but they've also got a couple of games in hand as well. And look, they've had such an interesting season. It's gone so well for them, and I'm going to say it, mate. I can't help but just be insanely jealous of the whole club, everything about it at the moment.
Yeah.
They seem to be, selling players for about 50 million every week. I think I've said that before. They seem to have amazing recruitment, and they're a club that's in a very good place, miles away, leagues away from where they were a long, long time ago under Dick Knight, where they were playing. They were nomadic, really, weren't they? But it wasn't good for them now. It's certainly good for them at the moment.
Yeah, and what's mad is you briefly mentioned it earlier, but when we got promoted before them into the Premier League, they were scrapping with relegation. I think it was Hewan at the time. I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah, they've come on leaps and bounds, mate. I think everyone's, not just ourselves, I think everyone's looking at Brighton as kind of the blueprint, as you say, like of how to run a football club. And I mean, yeah, what they've done. I mean, Cucurella 50 million after one decent season. He ain't even that good. And they just seem to sell players that you've never heard of for treble, quadruple the price they bought them for, and then bring in someone else you've never heard of who's also going to be brilliant. It's very impressive. And then the management as well. I mean, Graham Potter, probably, he was aligned with our ex-manager, Eddie Howe, as the next big English coach. And then he goes and they're getting Robert De Zerbi, and they're even better.
Yeah, I mean, so
we were linked with him, by the way, before they got him.
We were. Now, Houghton, of course, he was the one that got them promoted to the Premier League, wasn't he? And then I think Potter, when he came in, where is it, from Östersund or something?
That's right.
He took them to a brand new level, really. And in many ways, I was quite surprised. I find it quite sad, actually, when there's a manager doing so well at a club that's got such good potential. But obviously, money talks, European football talks, obviously. But look, Brighton could get it. I'm not saying they'll get Champions League. Of course they won't.
They could definitely finish above Chelsea, by the way.
Yeah, they're in a shout. And you know what? But Brighton, so Graham Potter's probably looking back at it thinking, should I have? Brighton fans don't care because their new guy, he's done so well since he's come in, and he was previously manager at Shakhtar Donetsk, wasn't he, in the Ukraine, and his managerial record actually is actually pretty good when you look at it now. I mean, he had a 66.7% win record at Shakhtar, and I mean he's been all over the place. He's been in Italy.
Yeah, there's a few clubs in Italy.
Yeah, Sassuolo as well, but now in the for Brighton, for the Seagulls, 47.1% win record. He's only lost 5, and out of those 5 he has lost to some pretty decent teams as well, like Arsenal, one of them, maybe champions elect, who knows, I don't want to speak too soon, but he seems to be a manager that, you know, that just gets it, and wow, Brighton fans must feel very lucky.
I mean, I remember thinking I didn't know a lot about De Zerbi at all when we were briefly linked with him when we sacked Scott Parker, so I had a little look like you just have there, and I thought actually he's going on the right path. There seems to be, I think he took Sassuolo up and was doing bits for them. Weirdly, by the way, we just signed a player from Sassuolo, and also from Ukraine.
That's right. Yeah.
But and it was more the style, the way he's come in and continued that style and brand of football that obviously was so impressive under Graham Potter. So yeah, doing really well. And as you say, mate, even the games they've lost, they've been unfortunate. They've beaten Liverpool twice recently. But yes, it's the style of football as well as the results, I think, that's so impressive. And they would have been worried a little bit when they lost Graham Potter because of what he was doing. And I agree with what you're saying. I think it's frustrating when you see a manager kind of jump ship, as it will, because a big club's come in. But equally, I think a lot of people have said, these managers never get a chance at a big club. So to see Eddie Howe and Graham Potter in them kind of big 6 clubs now is quite nice as well. And I think he'll do all right at Chelsea in the end, but if he's given time. But yeah, De Zerbi's been really impressive.
It's hard not to feel pleased for him after all the years of kind of financial turmoil that they had. And you know, Tony Bloom at the moment is chairman of the club, and you know the structure underneath him, that it just seems to be really good recruitment.
Doing blooming well, mate.
But very good, very good. He knows his humour is pretty poor. But no, look. They've got some, you know, throughout their club, they seem to be just recruiting very, very well. And on the pitch, let's just take a look at the January results. We won't go through the whole season, but look, it started off really positively. Tom, they went to Goodison Park and won pretty handsomely, didn't they?
Yeah, quite a comfortable win, 4-1. And I think that was one of them games where Everton probably thought we need a result at home to Brighton, but Brighton just tore them apart. Then they go into the cup, didn't they, at Borough?
And that's when you make changes, so you're probably going to have a weaker side out, so you know, just a cheeky 1-0 or something. Like.
5-1 away from home. I think they were the on-form team in the Championship. Borough absolutely flying. I thought, that's a potential banana skin. Yeah. Battered them. Liverpool at home, you're thinking, that'd be a tight game. Batter them 3-0. And then the only game we probably wanted them to win, they actually didn't. But away at Leicester's a 2-2 draw, and you're seeing the goals there as well. I've just said 4-1, 5-1, 3-0, 2-2. They score goals. And then the game against Liverpool, which I watched in the FA Cup, they were brilliant again, mate, and 1-2 with a late goal from Matoma, who I'm sure we'll come on to, looks really
That goal, by the way,
what a goal.
In the last minute, and like it was from his right foot, little touch onto his left. Exactly, if it's Messi or Ronaldo or someone, I mean the coverage of that.
Yeah, exactly. It was a unbelievable goal, and he has been really impressive. But as we just mentioned, mate, they just bring in these players, and suddenly they're superstars overnight. It is. And he's kind of playing in a wide position where they've lost Trossard and he's just come in.
Just about to come on to that. So, through the transfer window in January, what was it? 27 million Arsenal paid for, and he's hit the ground running at the Emirates, hasn't he? I think he's done really well. But you know, I'm looking at the players that they've brought in now, though. One of the players they've managed to keep, though, that's a bit of a bonus for them, isn't it?
Yeah, Moises Caicedo, who it looked like Arsenal again, didn't it? It looked like I think they bid in the end up to like 70 million.
It was a bit of a transfer saga in the end.
Was a little bit. Chelsea had a brief link, and then Arsenal were going in, and Arsenal obviously needed to to address that area, they ended up getting Jorginho, didn't they, from Chelsea? But yeah, Brighton made their kind of position clear and said he ain't going nowhere. I think I've seen recently that he's back in training and he's ready to go. So fair enough and fair play to Brighton. They just lost Basuma in that position.
Yeah.
So they probably wanted to show, as much as they let Trossard go, no, we still want to, they're showing well that they, Trossard didn't have long left of his contract and they were happy to let him go. But also, when they believe they can keep a player, and Saicedo's young and they probably think, we'll keep hold of him, he'll either do really well for us or is value ain't going to go down too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite impressive from them in that sense. And as I say, mate, having lost Basuma, Cucurella, Ben White, a lot of big players recently. That was a big statement as well to keep hold of him.
But they've also gained some players, haven't they? They gained a couple of players.
Yeah, they got a few kind of youngsters in, but in terms of their squad, I think it was kind of just make sure they keep hold of what they've got. I think it was Yassin Ayari, I want to say, come through the door, and I can't.
Buonanotte?
Yeah, that'll do.
Buonanotte?
Yeah, I think they're kind of.
Can you tell me how to pronounce that?
Yeah, younger players that maybe will be. I mean, they'll probably be unbelievable now, Brighton's luck, but they'll probably slowly come into the team and kind of just offer a bit of squad depth for them. But yeah, mainly for them, it was keeping hold of what they got. They didn't need to do too much.
Well, Ayari was from AIK,
Sweden,
and he was dubbed the future of Swedish football. He's like 19 years old. He's a midfielder, and Brighton actually beat a number of Serie A clubs to his signature as well. So in terms of the transfer window for them, I mean, yeah, it was a positive to keep Saicedo.
Yeah.
Obviously, losing Trossard was not great, but he was entering the final 18 months of his contract, so to get 27 million for him, it seems like the squad was, if you put it on paper, like a bit weaker than what it was though, because Trossard is a big miss.
Yeah, he's a key player, so I guess they have lost a key player, but they've played a few games without him and looked all right, to be fair. But yeah, he was a key player. But what I've always been impressed with Brighton is the fact that whoever comes in just seems to do the exact same job. I briefly mentioned it there. When Basuma left, people forget how highly rated Basuma was. He hasn't really done that well at Tottenham, surprisingly. As soon as he left, you thought, oh, that's good. And then Saicedo comes in and he's better.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And Ben White was a similar one. So, yeah, they probably ain't too worried. But Trossard was a good servant for him, done really well. Belgium international, and will do good things for Arsenal. But I don't think Brighton are that worried because they know the player that's then going to come through will probably be decent as well. So,
on to Bournemouth's transfer window then. I mean, Brighton you could say, is weaker. Bournemouth are definitely stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, what a transfer window that was. We've got the graphic on screen from our Twitter account in terms of who is in and who's gone out. All the players who have gone out are on loan, so we can get them back at some stage, of course. But there you can see those that have left, but those that have joined us as well. And 6 signings, mate.
Yeah.
But how many of these can hit the ground running, do you think? Have they been playing recently, all these players, or what?
Well, that's going to be interesting. I mean, first of all, let's just, no disrespect, but Dan Randolph's obviously come in as a backup goalkeeper. Number 2 at best, probably number 3, just to add that experience in case of any injuries. In terms of the others, I think, you'd like to think the calibre of players is really strong. I think Matthias Wiener, who's come in on loan from Roma, I don't think he's played competitive football this year, actually. He played at the World Cup for Uruguay, but he's been back up at Roma. And I don't think he's played, he's just been on the bench. So it might be hard for him to just come straight in because of the lack of competitive football. And also Zabanye, who he brought in from Kiev in Ukraine. They've had a winter break.
So he's not been playing much.
So them two haven't been playing much at all this year. So it might take them a little bit more time. Obviously, we don't know.
Has he had any friendlies or anything?
I think both of them have had little friendlies and bits and bobs. And obviously they would have been training and keeping fit and all that good stuff. But the ones, obviously we've seen Ouattara, because he joined a little bit earlier, so we've seen him and know he can hit the ground running because he did that. And Hamad Traore, I think he played at the start of the week for Sassuolo in a win against AC Milan. So he's raring to go. And Semenyo has been playing regularly for Bristol City. So probably looking at the latter ones there that are probably more ready to hit the ground running. But as I say, we don't know behind the scenes and in training. I mean, listen, they haven't played football, but Wiener's still been involved in the squads for Roma, so he's obviously had to keep himself fresh. It's just been one of them things. And Zabanye, they've had a little winter break in Ukraine, but I'm sure he's still been keeping himself.
Obviously, since Gary O'Neill's become permanent manager, our record's not great. And it was important to get that point against Forest at home. Ideally, we could have had 3 and held on, but Sam Surridge came back to haunt us. But you know what? We did stop the rot, and a point, that point could be important coming into the season. So we've only got 1 point under him. But I suppose you could maybe cut him a bit of slack with a number of players that we've had out towards the last match. He didn't have Solanke, for instance, and a number of key players haven't been available. I think now with these additions, it sort of tightens that slack, and he hasn't got as much slack. The focus is now going to be on him and whether he's the man to be able to mould this side into a team that can compete, be competitive, and play attacking football.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. I think it's what we've all been critical because of the results and the performances, but that's gone now. We've had the window. We've got some really good players in, and now it's kind of right. Okay, well, we're happy to forget that, so to speak, because now you've got the tools, and you've had injuries. You haven't had the depth. Had some youngsters on the bench. Now you've got it. I mean, we've as you mentioned, mate, we've let players go out on loan that have played minutes in that time. So we're obviously in a much better place. And I think what we have seen, as much as the Forest game, I'm hoping it's not going to be one that we look back on and go, we should have won that game, but that's the only point we've got since being permanent manager and since the break. And that was when our new signing started in Ouattara. And it did give us a bit of a lift, I felt. He got the assist, obviously. But it did give us a bit of a lift. So even more coming through the door now, a few injuries hopefully returning, it'll lift us. So, yeah, we've got to be looking at it positively now and knowing that, okay, we've got some tough fixtures coming up. It might take them a little bit of time, but it's positive things going forward. New players coming in, players returning from injury. The squad's going to look really strong. Soon we're going to have players not making the bench that have been involved, and that's only a good thing, mate. So yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like it's kind of cliche, but the season starts now. It does feel like that. And listen, we're in the bottom three, but we're not a million miles away. I mean, it's so tight down there. So if the season starts now with all these new players in the position we're in, we've given ourselves a chance.
Well, let's hope that Saturday's game can enhance our head-to-head record with them. Look, in all competitions, Bournemouth have the edge. We've won 44, lost 38, drawn 29, and they can see in recent years we've pretty much played them in every division, nearly every tournament. The FA Cup, not so long ago, Jay. Bear in mind, what you're seeing on screen is from a Brighton perspective. So where it says L, that of course is a Bournemouth win there. So yeah, at their place though, I mean, yeah, last time, as we saw earlier, 2-0. Pretty cheeky 5-0 though, the time before that. That was the days of free-flowing football. I think they had someone sent off that day. Knockout on Adam Smith. And then, David Brooks notched, Junior Stanislas notched as well.
I'm going to try and name them. Hang on. Did you say Brooks, yeah? Brooks, Stanislas. Yeah. Callum Wilson definitely scored. Oh, I know Ryan Fraser scored.
Oh yeah, he did, that loopy one.
And then I'm pretty sure Dan Gosling opened the scoring. Sure
you're
it was Dan.
right,
so
right.
I do remember that game quite well because it was a 5-0 win away from home. But and I think, as you said, we lost to them at their place. But I remember the home game in that season we went down. We thought that was a really big win, didn't we, just before COVID? So yeah, we've had some really tight games with them. So yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah, good stuff. So in terms of Brighton team news, of course they've signed 2 midfield players as well, but will they be available? Well, look, their young forward Evan Ferguson, he was injured against Liverpool with that challenge from Fabinho, wasn't it? And that was
we got VAR. How was he not sent off?
I know.
I ain't got a clue, mate.
So he's going to miss this game, but also injured as well. Adam Lallana, Mulder, Colwill, Mwepu as well, and one of their new signings as we said, there may be a doubt if Sosado will start after the transfer saga. McAllister's suspended as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's blooming good.
So who've they got? I mean, Danny Welbeck up front? What, is he their only attacking striker, would you say? I mean, obviously they've got attacking wingers and stuff, but that's...
Yeah, they'll probably go with Welsh through the middle, I would have thought. I mean, Ferguson, as you say, because he's a doubt now.
But Solly March, though...
Solly March has done well lately. Obviously, Matoma's been incredible, but I didn't realise who said that about McAllister. That's big for us because you saw him in the World Cup, didn't you? Sensational. Yeah. Another one.
How is he not Scottish?
And just about to say it. Have you seen his dad, by the way?
No.
Right, anyone go and look Alex McAllister. That he looks so Scottish, it's unbelievable. It's incredible. There's definitely some Scottish in him, but yeah, he's been really incredible for him. So yeah, and I think Gross can pump him with a goal.
Yeah, of course.
Gross. So yeah, they have still got a good squad, but I think Ferguson's made a really good impression recently. So I'll be quite pleased if he's out from that perspective. But Welbeck's still experienced. I think if he's fit, he's still decent. And Lallana, as you say, he's been out lately, but I have seen him briefly in training photos. So I wouldn't be surprised if he might actually return.
In terms of AFC Bournemouth team news, Gary O'Neill had his presser, and with 6 new signings through the door, it'll be interesting to see which make the starting 11. At least we'll have some new faces on the bench. One thing I think the club, I don't know if this is a thing, but the club seem to be really vague on timescales these days.
Yeah.
Whereas previously it was like, oh, it's about 4 weeks away. Now it's kind of like,
Yeah.
he's close, but he's not quite ready.
Yeah,
he's close, but he's not quite ready.
I don't know if that's trying to get a slight edge with the opposition.
You don't want to give him too much info, do you?
I think Lloyd Kelly was a big one. We thought he might be out for a game, and then he was out for ages, and then he suddenly was back. So yeah, well, it makes it bloody difficult to predict the teams. But I don't mind. It's been a difficult one this season. But we'll see who returns, and obviously with the new lads coming in, it's going to be really tough to know who's available and how everyone is really.
Well, the referee. It's a good omen.
Oh.
It's Michael Oliver. He was our referee in the comeback away winning on in Forest.
Take it.
He was the person that went up to the...
Yeah, I was about to say that.
He went up to VAR and then did he overrule? No, he kept with his original decision.
Yes.
Because it was that shot that Lloyd Kelly handballed.
Yeah. And they always go and change their mind when they go to the screen, so we were buzzing.
And like for the first time ever.
Didn't, but it made us have a good comeback. So.
Yeah, exactly. So he's in charge, so maybe that is a good thing. If Tom gets this will be brilliant. Here are the teams. Come on.
Oh God, this is going to be hard.
Right, Tom, talk me through Brighton then.
Right, we'll give it a go, mate. It'll be Sanchez in goal. Absolutely, he's top keeper, by the way. Yeah, he'll definitely be in goal. Back four, I'm going to go with Lamptey at right back. Very pacey, very attacking. He'll be difficult, but yeah, I think they'll stick with him there. And then the centre halves of Webster and Dunk, who have been really impressive for him, haven't they? So, yeah, oh God, every time when I talk through teams, I think, oh God, it's going to be hard. Left back, Estupiñán, who he's one to watch. I think he's one of them players they found and looks really impressive. He'll be at left back. Then I'm kind of go for a free midfield. One might sit a little bit deeper. And obviously it's difficult to judge because they've got Lallana out, McAllister suspended. Yeah. So that suits us. And obviously we don't know about Saicedo, but I'm going to put him in. I think Saicedo will play kind of centrally in there because he's back in training and obviously he didn't go in the end, so I think they'll end up sticking with him. I do think he'll start this one, and then either side of them I'm going to go for Pascal Gross. Will definitely play. I would have thought he will be given more of a licence. And then I'm going to go with Billy Gilmore. Okay. Yeah, hasn't started a lot of games, but I just think with the players out, I think he might get an opportunity.
Okay, and then what about the attacking? I mean, this interests me. I mean, yeah. Yeah,
I'm going to go on the wall options off that right hand side. I'll go with Sonny March.
Okay.
He's been doing well lately.
Good player.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely play with Matoma off that kind of left hand side. And then, I'm going to stick with Danny Welbeck through the middle. I still think that's pretty strong for him. But I think that one picks itself, that front three. But it's more the midfield that's maybe a little bit harder to predict.
Brighton fans, let us know what you think about that team line. I'm really intrigued to see how close you are with that. Right, let's move on to AFC Bournemouth then. And this looks like a... what formation is this, mate? Is this a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-4? I can't work out.
Yeah, it depends how you want to say. I'm going to go kind of 4-1-4-1, I guess. Okay. Potentially 4-3-3, depends how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll stick with a 4 at the back, obviously. Neto will be in goal. I think that's one I'll get right. I would have thought, unless he's got a random injury. And then the back four, we're going to stick with Adam Smith at right back. Probably be wearing the armband as well, maybe. Yeah. Or not. I'm not sure if Kelly's going to play. Actually, no, I'm going to put Kelly in. So I'm going to go, Kelly obviously left centre back. I think he will stick with him. And I'm going to go Chris Mepham coming in for Jack Stevens. I just think Meps will come back in.
Stevens didn't do bad though, did he?
No, he didn't. I just think that Meps will come back in for that one. We didn't keep a clean sheet against Forest, listen, so I think he could change that. I'm going to keep with Zamora left back. Mentioned briefly about Vigna not playing a lot of minutes. He's obviously coming for competition there. But Zamora did get man of the match in the last game, remember? So I do think he'll stay in. That kind of one that's protecting them is going to be Jefferson Lerma for sure. Yeah. I would have thought. But obviously the issues at the moment around players' fitness, obviously Lewis Cook's one of them. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be available. I do think Billing will. So I'm going to put Billing as kind of that left side, who are obviously beginning the licence to go forward. And then I'm going to put one of the new boys next to him, Hamed Traore.
Oh!
Just because I mentioned it, he's played recently. I just think, Lerma protecting, Billing and Traore in front, a lot of energy in there. That's what I'm going to go for.
Okay, and what about the final three then?
On the right-hand side, I will go for Ouattara. I thought we'd done well there last time, so I'm going to stick with him playing in there. And then on the left-hand side, stick with Jane Nansley for him and Zamora's little partnership on that side. I think we'll stick with that. It could be a chance for Semenyo. It could even be a chance for him up top, but I don't think Solanke's going to be available, so I'm going to stick with. I think he'll stick with Kiefer Moore. I do. So yeah, a few changes left in the last game, and obviously Traore coming in, but I don't think we'll see them all yet. So yeah, I think he'll start like that.
So there we go. Tom picking his teams there, and didn't he pick well? Tom, with these teams in mind, what does that leave you thinking and feeling for a prediction for this one, mate? I mean, I know you're all about the heart rather than the head, but let's try and have a mixture of the two. Your realistic shout for a result here.
I mean, my head is sadly 3-0 Brighton. But as you say, you always go with your heart. Can we nick something? Should we be defensively solid? They nick a goal and we think, oh, here we go, and then we catch something on the break and get a 1-1 draw. Let's go with that. I'll go with a 1-1 draw. Watara to get a late goal, to smash one in with his left foot or something. But yeah, what do you reckon?
Football's all about the hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
And football's all about going to games when you're feeling the lowest of the low, and then you watch, and then something happens. I think we're going to lose 2-0, mate. God, sorry about that, but I think no, I don't know. I don't know.
You do. You think we're going to lose 2-0? I mean, that's not an outrageous shout at all. I think
given their injuries, I think we could. Part of me thinks we could scrape a win, but look, so therefore I'm going to go down the middle. But a repeat of a previous result at the Amex, 2-2.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a 2-2.
So I'll be well happy with that, and it will show that we've got a bit more attacking impetus. So I'll definitely take that, mate.
That would be good. And look, what do you think? Put them in the comments below, because if you do, every comment with a scoreline prediction goes into the hat to win one of these beautiful bad boys from Football Art. Chris Lee, who does these amazing tube map, history map prints there. And remember, for a second chance to win, make sure you follow him as well. And whenever you see our tweet, which will be out in the next 24 hours, just retweet it. We're going to be We'll check to make sure you're following him, and then we'll put you in the hat again. And then sometime of the week next week, we will be revealing it. Tom, fingers crossed, Bournemouth get the W, get some points on the board. We need it.
Take a D, mate. Yeah, take a draw. But yeah, good performance. Go and get a result. That'd be absolutely fantastic going on to the run-in, which seems a little bit early to say that. But as we said, season starts here, mate. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hang on.
What?
Just notice there's you. You haven't subscribed. What? You haven't subscribed?
Let him give him a minute.
You've watched this whole video and you've not subscribed. Press it.
Cheers.
Thanks. And like it at the same time. Yeah, look, we really look forward to seeing you. If you want to come on the Matchday vlog, just say hello. And fan cams at full time as well. We've also got the usual stuff like a Matchday vlog coming out first thing Sunday morning. We've got the second look on Monday with a beautiful guest who we haven't seen in a long time. We can't wait to see his beautiful little face and his head full of hair. Oh, yeah, I haven't got any hair either. You'll find out who that is on Monday. And then some good content coming out during the week as well, building up to Newcastle. And we may even have a chat with a number of Premier League fans as well, a special event that Tom will be going to. You're always talking at events, mate.
I might even chat to a few Premier League footballers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
See how it goes.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Other Cherries, see you at the Amex.
See you, Reed. I'm joking.